You gonna drop it real, you gotta drop it for real. We just keep it moving. It ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping. If you ain't riding with us, we don't
What's
stop.
up, guys? Welcome to the Big Bro Podcast. I'm Remarks, your go-to bro for real talk about life, growth, and building that unbreakable confidence we all need. Now, today, we're chatting about something that hits home for so many of us, building confidence as a man. And let me tell you, right off the bat, confidence is not something you were born with. It's a skill you work at every day. Now, let's dive in. In today's world, we're constantly worrying about our self-image. Back in the day, our only reflection might have been a calm stream or pond, but now we're bombarded by mirrors, cameras, and phone screens. We see ourselves over and over, and that pressure to be perfect can be overwhelming. For us guys, that means we're expected to be lean, fit, have an awesome job with a fat paycheck, be super smart, be natural leaders, on and on and on. And if we don't tick off every box, it's easy to feel like we're falling short. But here's the kicker. As we all know, nobody's perfect, and you definitely weren't born with a full stash of confidence. It's something you build, like muscles in the gym, one workout, one small win at a time. Sometimes we even mess up by making promises to ourselves, like, I'm going to hit the gym more, or I'm going to crush this goal, and then we let ourselves down. And when that happens, our confidence takes a big hit. But remember, every time you push through and do what you said you do, you're actually stacking up those confidence gains. Now, here's some tips to boost your self confidence that have helped me. One, talk to yourself nice. I mean it. Quit the inner negativity. How many times do you catch yourself thinking that I'm not strong enough, or I can't do this, or I'm too short, too fat? Flip that. Tell yourself things like, I am strong. I keep my promises. I'm smart. I got this. The more you feed yourself those positive vibes, the more real that they become. Two, break your goals down. Instead of setting one huge goal that feels impossible, break it down into bite sized pieces. Now, let's say you want to get in shape. Instead of thinking I need to transform my body overnight and lose 100 pounds, start with smaller wins. Schedule a few gym sessions a week, maybe 2, 3 times a week. And when you hit those small milestones, you'll feel like a champ, and it's going to skyrocket your confidence. Three, stick with it, even when it's tough. We all gonna have days where we don't feel like doing anything. Maybe it's cloudy outside or raining, or maybe you're depressed, you're feeling down. But here's the secret: doing something even when we're not feeling our 100% builds grit. It shows you that you can count on yourself, and that consistency is the real deal when it comes to feeling good about who you are. Now, another thing that helps is setting down something I call non-negotiables. I've said it before. You make a list of maybe 2 to 3 things, more if you're feeling up to the challenge, but these are things that you're going to do every day. Doesn't matter if you're sick, doesn't matter if you don't feel like it, doesn't matter if it's raining, whatever they are, make it attainable for something to reflect on or something to compare it to. I know I'm saying not to compare things to, but in this instance, to help you, my some of my non-negotiables is to read 15 minutes a day, to go 2 to 3 times to the gym every week, to read the Bible every morning. Those are things I do every day, no matter what. And they're really easy and simple to do. And now every time I do it, I'm doing it Monday through Sunday. I feel good about myself. Again, it's you're making that connection that I make promises to myself that I could keep. I'm consistent. I'm strong. My day was productive. These are things, positive talk, that are going to help you boost your confidence. Because let me tell you, when you get into the pattern of being lazy or saying you're going to do something and then you don't do it, it really, really kills your confidence. And then you can't trust yourself. And then it just ends up snowballing until the fact that you have low self esteem. Now, let's tackle some of those insecurities that we face. Okay, so those insecurities can knock us off our game, and I've been there, feeling like I'm never good enough for that special someone, losing control over my emotions, or always worrying that I'm not providing enough. These doubts can make us overly defensive, and they seriously zap our confidence. I used to feel that way, like I said. So what changed? Personally, I started digging into the word. and learning about what God thinks of me and what He planned for my role as a man. That shift in mindset, changing my habits, reworking my thought process did wonders for my confidence. Now, let's talk about some of the insecurities that we might relate to. Not measuring up physically, like I said before. We get caught in comparing ourselves to images on social media. If you're not ripped or stylish, like these online icons, you might feel less than. But let me remind you, your looks are just one part of who you are. Focus on being healthy and strong, not just fitting some fake ideal. Another insecurity is that we have to hide our emotions. Society tells us to always be tough and unemotional, but bottling everything up is not healthy. Showing your true feelings, whether that's with God or with your brothers or even a therapist, can make you stronger. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's a bridge to deeper, more meaningful connection. Another insecurity is, like I said before, breaking promises to yourself. When you set goals or pursue a passionate project, when you miss those goals, you start feeling like a failure. So instead of letting that get you down, see it as a chance to learn, because each setback teaches you something about what you could do better next. Another insecurity that I want to talk about real briefly is porn. Beating your meat to pixels on a screen, you start doing that enough, you start feeling like a loser. Okay? It drains you of your energy, it kills your self confidence, and that actually damages your brain. Okay? I know there's a lot of people out there, if you have an addiction to porn, seek professional help, talk to your brotherhood about it, and try to stop it. We were meant to be intimate in physical form. So when it's time, when you meet that special someone, be physical with them. Exchange that energy with them. Don't waste your seed into watching pixels on a screen. I'm telling you, it's gonna kill your self confidence. And if you want to look into it, and maybe I'll have a class on it, or a podcast on it later about the benefits of semen retention, because it really does wonders. But that's an insecurity I know a lot of men can relate to. So again, just veering away from that, you'll start building confidence. When you stop doing that, you start feeling more and more masculine, and you'll be able to accomplish all your goals. Now, let's talk about some practical steps to beat those insecurities. So, again, setting realistic, doable goals. Figure out what success means for you and set small, everyday goals. Whether it's in your career, your fitness routine, or your relationships, achieving even small steps adds a big confidence boost. Find your crew. No man is an island, even though we'd like to be. It's important to have people around you who get it. Mentors, friends. Sharing your struggles and successes isn't a sign of weakness, it's part of growing stronger together. Practice mindfulness. Take a few minutes each day to be in the present. Mindfulness helps cut out those negative feelings and negative thoughts and let you appreciate where you are right now. Trust me, it helps a ton. One thing I do every now and then is I journal. I write in my journal. In the beginning, it's really nice if you don't have somebody, if you don't have a friend, if you don't have a brotherhood to talk to. Maybe journaling could be your first way out to be an outlet for you. Okay? Sometimes it's better than getting your emotions out on somebody you don't trust or somebody who will end up weaponizing it and just, or even complaining can kill your self confidence. So instead of complaining, take 15 minutes each day when you wake up or whenever is good for you and journal. Write down your thoughts. It's good. It helps you organize your thoughts and it helps you get better in the written word. When we can organize our thoughts and get better in our writing, we can come up with solutions to problems a lot better, a lot easier. Now, another thing, stop comparing. Social media can make it so easy to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. Remember, everyone's journey is different. Focus on your own progress rather than measuring up to an unrealistic standard. And the most important thing to do is celebrate the wins. No victory is too small. Celebrate every bit of progress. It builds up your confidence for the next challenge. So again, I want to get more in depth on my personal challenge. So I used to struggle with feeling like I wasn't good enough. There was times when I doubted whether I could ever be good for the women in my life, or if I could manage my emotions, or live up to what society expects of me. Now, first, the women in my life. I never knew how to share my feelings. I always thought I had to be tough or keep them from my significant other, because there were instances where they do weaponize it. They do use it against you when you're arguing or getting to heated fights. So doing that and being sarcastic always made me feel like maybe I wasn't meant for love. Now, the other part about managing my emotions when I was younger, I think I had Napoleon complex. I'm a short guy, so I always felt like people were sizing me up or bullying me or just, felt insecure. So I would go out my way and pick the tallest guy, biggest guy in the room and start something with them. I would get angry easily. I would get into fights. So I never thought I could control my emotions. And then the third thing, just what society expects of men, for us to be the providers, for us to be well put together, for us to be intellectual, for us to be good leaders, for us to be, have a plethora of women around us. Like, it's a lot. And because I didn't meet those standards, or I met those standards later than others, it made me feel less than. So what did I do to overcome that? I found comfort in the Word, in the Bible, and I learned about what God had envisioned for me as a man, and it changed everything. What I learned is God made Adam to have dominion over the earth. He gave us the power and the responsibility to name animals, to name things, and then he gave us the responsibility after making Eve to help lead her and watch over her and take care and provide for her and keep her safe. Okay? So he expected so much of us. He gave us so much power, and he thinks the world of us. Even when we messed up, countless times in the Bible, his prophets would mess up. They would be insecure. They would not have faith. They would have their vices or their temptations or their lust. And he forgave them. And he still gave them his presence. He still gave them blessings. So just knowing that off rip, knowing what God thinks of me and how much he loves me, I don't need anything else. I don't need no other validation, right? And then just learning what he envisioned, it just changes everything. And knowing that we can't do anything without him made everything even more clear, that I needed to seek him more and pray more, but it did build my confidence. It helped me to begin tweaking my habits. It reshaped my mindset, and bit by bit, I started feeling more confident. I was aiming for some perfect version of myself, but I stopped doing that. I was simply working on becoming a more genuine, authentic version of who I already was, and that's what real confidence is all about. Being true to yourself, flaws and all. So opening up, whether with God or with a friend or with a brotherhood of guys who get it, helps break down those walls. It's in the sharing, the laughter, or even the tears that you truly build a foundation for lasting confidence. You need to get it off your shoulders. I'm telling you. Just find that special outlet to do it in. Some people rap, make music about it. Stop making music about things that aren't relatable, or let the feelings and emotions be the ink and the music, or journal, or go to the gym, find a brotherhood, actively seek brothers who get you, who you can be real with, not just buddies to talk sports about, not just buddies to go get girls. No, find friends that you can talk to about deep shit, about your personal relationships, about your insecurities. And then I'm telling you, it'll be great. Or even a therapist. Therapists for men have such a negative connotation in today's world, and it's stupid. I went to therapy to work on my anger management, and it helped me so much. Helped me control my anger to a point where now I could bite my tongue. Now somebody could be in my face, and I could be calm. And trust me, the calmer person always wins the war or the battle. they get mad. The other person gets mad because they see they're not affecting you. They're not making you lose your composure. So I'm telling you, find your brotherhood, find your outlet, find your confidant, and start sharing those feelings. Okay? Now, let's wrap up on some key takeaways. First thing, set small realistic goals. Aim for little wins. They really add up, and soon you'll be amazed by your own progress. Find your support system. Connect with friends, mentors, or any community that encourages you. Sharing your journey makes the load lighter. Practice being in the moment. Embrace mindfulness so you can shut out the constant noise of negative self talk. Stop comparing yourself to others. Trust me, social media isn't the full picture. Your journey is your own, and that's something to celebrate. And celebrate everyone, no matter how small. Recognizing your progress builds the kind of confidence that you can rely on every day. The bottom line is this: building confidence is a journey, not a destination. It's about getting up every day and pushing forward, even when it's hard. It's about believing in yourself enough to keep showing up day in and day out, even when doubts creep in. Now, thank you for hanging out with me on today's episode of the Big Bro Podcast. I really hope these tips and personal stories help you start building that rock solid confidence. If this talk resonated with you, please share it with friends and subscribe for more real, straight up advice every week. I'm Remarks. I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Until next time, keep being true to yourself, keep pushing forward, and remember, you got a whole brotherhood behind you. Take care, and I'll catch you next week. Now, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and follow us on social media for more weekly insights. Stay strong, stay real, and keep building that confidence one day at a time. I'm out.
It ain't no stopping, ain't no stopping. If you ain't riding with us, we still dropping. Oh, we keep it moving, moving, moving.